tell them check out the blog, bro. YouTube channel called MKO. It's Pugilism Boxing Algorithm. M stand for Marvin and Kevin's initials KO. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, talking all things boxing right about now. Remember to like and remember to subscribe to this channel. More content coming on its way to a screen near you. So right now it's time to speak on the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship of the World, which will, according to the agreements, according to the contract signings, be taking place between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury 2021. Date to be announced, venue to be announced at some point, maybe when they get through their next fights. So the first news I heard about this was with Tyson Fury. Frank Warren, one of his promoters, came on Good Morning Britain over here in the UK, and they spoke about signing a non-disclosure agreement. They stated they've signed this agreement for the Undisputed fight to take place next year. They also went on to deride Joshua and Hearn a little bit, talking about Joshua and Hearn don't want to fight and all this sort of thing. And they were selling themselves a bit, but the one takeaway you get from that Good Morning Britain program was that, you know, they believe they're saying that, look, we've signed the agreement, we're ready for this fight to take place next year. We then had the news from Tyson Fury on his Instagram page. He stated that he has got the deal over the line thanks to Daniel Kinahan, which is a guy who is in part of the management team for Tyson Fury. He's a major negotiator in this instance. He's a guy that acts as a go-between between Team Joshua and Team Fury. As we know, sort of Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, they don't really get along together. I guess they're not in favor of really doing business together. But this guy, Daniel Kinahan, has done a great job from what Fury was saying and from what everyone's saying. He's done a great job of bringing it all together, getting the guys together, and he's managed to broker a deal that both parties are happy with. We've also had Eddie Hearn, who's come out on the Sky Sports YouTube channel, and he's confirmed that, yes, we have agreed all the finances with Team Fury, when both parties are happy with the finances, and that's fantastic. So all things being well, ladies and gents, we should have an undisputed champion and a great big undisputed fight next year, 2021, since all these agreements have been signed. Bob Arum also gave some useful information today, or it must have been today or day before, I believe, on a very recent IFL TV interview with him. He went on to disclose exactly how the deal's going to work. From what he said, it's a 50-50 split for the first part of the two-fight deal. So the first fight is going to be 50-50 money-wise. Both get 50% of everything down the middle. And then for the rematch, the winner will get 60% of all the spoils, so their money goes up. And the loser will only get 40%, which still an excellent wage, still millions and millions and millions. So that's how it's going to be broken down according to Arum. It will be interesting to see, you know, how it works out over here, because you've obviously got different TV stations that both fighters fight for. You've got Sky Sports, who Joshua works with over here, and you've got BT Sports, who Tyson Fury works with. For me personally, I think it will just be a case of they'll either give it to one or the other, or they can probably just work out a deal to where BT Sports does their pay-per-view and Sky Sports does their pay-per-view, and that's how they do it. And that way both fan bases, both customers of both platforms and both TV networks will be happy, because you'll both be able to get it. One big thing that I noticed about the pay-per-view, from what I'm hearing, the pay-per-view prices are now going to go up. And I know that that's something that, you know, I've complained about in the past. It used to be, I think, around £15. It's gone from £15 over here to £17, and now recently it's gone to like sort of $19.99. And the last one that I paid for in terms of a pay-per-view, I think it was Joshua versus Ruiz, if I'm not mistaken. And even that one had a little price hike from like $19.99 to £25, which, you know, over here we consider a fair bit of money. I mean, I suppose in hindsight, when you look at the whole picture, you know, I suppose, you know, the American fan base, they've got to pay like $70, $80. I've even heard $100 for the sort of some of Mayweather's big fights with McGregor or Pacquiao or whatever. I've heard as much as $100 as a price point. So I suppose, you know, in hindsight, when you look on it, you know, if they're going to charge us, from what I hear, for between sort of £30, like $29.99 and £50, it is a big jump for us over here, because we're used to only paying around £20. So to hike it to 50 is a big jump. But you know, it's one of those things where, as sort of a one-off, as a thing that is irregular in my life, I think I would still pay for it if that was the only way of getting it. If, you know, obviously it's a case where I can't go to watch it because they want to charge a fortune to go and attend, then, you know, I wouldn't be opposed so much to paying a little bit more. I'd prefer it not to be £50, but, you know, it is what it is. It's one of them that, because I love the sport of boxing, I probably would still end up paying it, or end up splitting it with a friend or something like that. You know, I'd probably have to end up doing it that way. You know, also another interesting point is that Andre Ward, he pointed out that he believes it's kind of a mistake for Tyson Fury to be announcing this deal at a point where he hasn't yet beaten Wilder for a third time. So Ward was pointing out that, look, he feels that Fury might be looking too far ahead. You know, it might be actually looking too far ahead at this point, and that could be a valid point. But again, that depends on Tyson Fury. And I think, you know, with a guy like Fury, you know, I think this is just his style. This is his personality. And obviously it's a time where you're locked up, you know, you've got to be in your house most of the time. You've got to keep social distancing. And, you know, this is quite a sort of boring time to be in. And I think it's one of them ones there where, you know, you're gonna, if you find out news like this, you've got the Undisputed fight booked up, then, you know, I can see where Fury's coming from. And I think, in my view, I think he's mature enough to know that he's still got to get Wilder out of there. He's still got to beat Wilder, you know, in the third fight. He's not dumb. He's no fool. You know, he's a smart guy. So he's not gonna be taking his eye off the ball there. You know, even a funny thing was that I think Frank Warren was talking about it's a bit foolish for Eddie Hearn to be announcing this fight. But it's funny because he said that of Eddie Hearn, but then his fighter Tyson Fury done exactly the same thing. And funnily enough, Anthony Joshua on this fight, he you know, I follow him on social media, the Instagram, stuff like that, and he hasn't said anything about this fight at all. He's been completely and utterly silent as far as this fight goes, which is quite interesting. You know, I guess he'll be focusing on the Pulev fight and recovering. As you know, we saw the other day that he's obviously got a little injury to his leg. They say nothing too serious, so hopefully the Pulev fight won't be knocked back at all. But yeah, anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. You know, I hope both guys do well in their next fights. So hopefully both guys look great winning their next fights, so that there is no stumbling block in the way of this Undisputed fight, because we know in boxing that it can be a mistake to look far ahead and to announce things far ahead. But you know, we hope in this case, I'm pretty sure in this case, Joshua comes through Pulev and Fury comes through Wilder in the third fight, barring something, you know, sort of major sort of upset happening. I think they're both gonna come through their fights and come through them pretty well, going into this, and then we can get finally this undisputed fight. So, you know, I'm looking forward to it. And that's all for now. That's my thoughts for now. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism over and out. See you on the next video. Like and subscribe.